So, hey everybody, it is Friday lunchtime again. It's time for another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. It's Friday the 23rd of July 2021, and this is episode number 30, Heat. Happy Friday once again, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all had a fantastic week in work or whatever you've been up to this week, whether you've been sunning it up, you've been on holiday somewhere, doing something with the family, making the most of this heat that we've got at the moment. The sun has been shining in the UK for the last week, pretty much, and it's been very, very, very hot. To the extent that I'm currently sat here now recording this. I can feel a bead of sweat coming down my forehead. So, yes, very warm at the moment here in the UK, but I hope you've all had a fantastic week. Like I say, thanks for tuning in. I had a few little thoughts around the format of this video. Got a few little ideas bubbling around, so I'm going to try and reach out to a few people in the community. Got a couple of little ideas, so I'm after some help from my fellow community folk out there. So I might ping some of you a little message soon, but if you're intrigued, reach out, ping me. I'm sure we can get involved. There's something I'm going to ask people to do. So anyway, let's crack on with the show. Without further ado, let's jump straight on over into community call out. Okay, as I said, it's been a super hot week this week. Literally, I've been sat in the office most days, and I've had to take a break. I've had to go outside. I've not got aircon. Got a little fan that obviously I turn off for the recording of this video. But wow, it's been super close. So hope we've all managed to get through that. Obviously, like I said, I think I could absolutely do a Pete Griffin here and get a hose to my face. But there we go. Right, let's crack on with the community call out. So. Like I said, I put a last-minute tweet up last night. I've had a few little ideas about how to kind of add a bit more dynamic nature or interesting content to this part of the show. So in terms of community call-out, I'm looking for what have I missed? What have I missed in this week's worth of people's contributions, the effort that people have gone to do blogs, to do videos, to do podcasts. I'm going to put a tweet up every week, maybe on a Thursday, around Thursday lunchtime. If I've missed anything in that week, if you're interested in helping me out, put a link to something that I may have missed and I'll call it out on the show. So last night I put up Shabazz straight away, called out Gregor's blog article. I think he got mistaken it was a video, but there's a blog article Gregor wrote a couple of months back. I'll be mentioning that a little bit later on. And also, quite rightly so, Shabazz called out the Cloud Code Live podcast that GPS, Alf, and Richard have put together. So we'll jump into that quickly in a while. So, yeah, I thought maybe I'm thinking of calling the section "Pay It Forward," something like that. So, in other words, if you've spotted something through the week that you think I'll find useful, then I'm going to broadcast that back out through here. So, yeah, we'll see if we carve up the sections a little bit over the coming weeks. But yeah, just playing about with some ideas. I've got, and like I said at the intro, I've got another ask that I'll get into with a few people just to see if it'll work. Don't know if it'll work yet, but yeah, just toying around with a few ideas anyway. Okay, so straight off the bat, my good friend Shabazz, I was having a chat with him yesterday about this. Obviously, for those that don't know, Shabazz and Simon have been doing a video series entitled AVD Zero to Hero. Go over to Shabazz's YouTube channel, I Am IT Geek. I put a link there. If you follow me or follow Shabazz or Simon, you'll undoubtedly be able to find the links to that. So they have put together a series of videos. I think they're on episode 7 at the moment, and 7 of 10. So they've got a couple more episodes to go. But it's really taking you through those stages of what does it take to set up an AVD environment in terms of the workspace, the host pool, all the desktop app groups and the application groups, right the way through setting up FS Logics, all of that good stuff. Really helping people understand, how do you go from being that zero to hero with AVD. So I'm calling that out purely because Shabazz is doing a giveaway. So if you've not seen this, Shabazz has got a bunch of T-shirts there with the I Am IT Geek hashtag on. Go and watch episode number 7. I mean, go and watch all the episodes, of course, but episode number 7 gives you some instructions. But basically what he's after you to do is really just help get the YouTube channel off the ground a little bit more than it currently is now. Get sharing that content. It's great. It's a great series of videos. So I'm going to help spread the word on that. So go and watch the episodes. Go and pick your favorite one. Go and tag it, your favorite episode with hashtag ABD0Hero. Go and subscribe to the channel, and then share your favorite episode across your Twitter account, and be in with a chance to win a T-shirt from Shabazz and Simon. So, like I say, it's a great series. Really go and give some support to the guys there. They put some fantastic effort in. I know they mentioned they recorded their other video the other night, and if like my experience, they're probably melting in the office. But that's enough about the heat. But the video's entitled Heat, so I'm going to keep going on about it because that's what we do in the UK. Yeah, it could be absolutely hammering down with rain outside. I'd probably be moaning about that as well. So anyway, let's move on. So yeah, thanks to Shabazz and Simon. Anyway, go and check that out. Go and give them a follow and support the guys and join in with that competition. Bit of fun and engagement with the community there. Okay, moving over to my good friend Chris Reddington. As you may or may not know, he's one of the co-organisers of Azure Thames Valley. They're looking for some lightning talk. So if you've got something to say, jump on over to the Azure. And how am I going to pronounce Azure? Azure. I don't know what's gone into me today. So jump on over to the Azure Thames Valley Call for Speakers sessionized page and sign up and do a lightning talk. So sort of 15-20 minute talk. Drop Chris a line if you're interested in doing any of that, and get out there. Give it a go because it's good fun, and it's huge support from the community if you are looking to maybe break into speaking for the first time. So go and check that out. Moving on, it is still July, therefore it is still July OT, and this week there's the July OT. The team are concentrating on microcontrollers and the embedded hardware that goes into IoT devices. And so I'm just calling out Jim Bennett. Jim has been sharing some fantastic content over the last, throughout July OT at the end of the day. But he called this one out, I think yesterday, day before, really around just some looking at some best practices and some tips and tricks of what you're going to how can you use microcontrollers and embedded hardware within devices. And so we got three people on there. We got Tara, Dave, and Brian, all giving their kind of best practices, their hints and tips about how you approach that. It's a vital part to IoT. Obviously, that is the thing element, that microcontroller embedded in the device. Of course, you can go and buy ready-made products, sensors, boxes, ready-made, to hook up to your IoT solution. But it's good fun. It's good fun to get into the weeds with microcontrollers and learn a bit of coding, learn how to make something, as much from the ground up as possible. So some great content there. Go and check that out if you are interested. Okay, and just thought I'd call this out again because Jamie's been retweeting this recently. So a little while back now, a couple of months ago, Jamie asked everybody to kind of list their blogs, their YouTubes, any podcasts, things like that. So everybody did on a Twitter feed. And Jamie turned that into essentially a static website. And as he says there, he's got almost 1,000 of the best community blogs. So if you are looking for some particular type of content, go and give that a little look because there are so many fantastic people out in the community, like I keep saying, putting this content out there. Jamie's curated this list. So yeah, go and check that out. There's the link there, techresources.azurewebsites.net. And like I say, there's blogs, there's podcasts, there's YouTube series, things like that. So thanks to Jamie for resharing that. I remember that a couple of months back now, so I thought I'd give that a little bit of a call out as well if anybody's interested in having a little look. Picked out this tweet from Jürgen. So Jürgen, with a few of the other guys, including Jamie, has been working on the AI 102, the Artificial Intelligence, as your associate exam, of which I'm slowly working my way through. I'm going through the skills measured, as and when I get sort of spare 15-20 minutes to go and do a little bit of study in that particular skills measured area. But Jürgen has got, like I say, a Pluralsight path being released, or it's now live, with some help from other fellow sort of Pluralsight authors. So go and if you are fortunate enough to have a Pluralsight subscription and you are looking to study in that area, go and check that out because, as I say, I've studied and used some of Jürgen's videos on Pluralsight before, and they're superb quality. Get to the point and easily understandable. So thanks Jürgen for that. Go and check that out, everybody. And staying on theme, as mentioned earlier, good shout out from Shabazz. Gregor retweeted this the other day, and I think Gregor sat the exam not too long ago and got that one in the bag. So he's put together a AI 102 study guide, again breaking down into those skills measured, with some hints and tips, links to docs, articles, and any other sort of resources Gregor found useful as he was studying it for himself. One of the things I didn't notice, I don't know whether it's me or not, but the skills measured does seem to be huge. But there we go. It's probably not too dissimilar to many of the other Microsoft exams, but there's a lot to study, and it's good fun. It is good fun. The AI stuff is good fun, but I think it's clearly leaning more over to kind of using APIs. So you've got to put your developer hat on and look for how you can kind of pull SDKs, APIs into any kind of application you might be looking to write to do various AI bits and pieces using the cognitive services, through to speech, through to vision, all sorts of stuff in there. So thanks for that, Gregor. Thanks for sharing that out. And like I say, if anybody's looking to study it, go and check these kinds of content out, because it's really useful. Okay. Yes. That's what I think. No thanks. So AZ700, the Azure Network Engineer Associate exam. The beta's out. So AZ700, if you're looking to go and study for that exam, the beta got released the other day, and for the first 300 people, I'd probably be surprised if this code is still active now. I mean, this is sort of 2 or 3 days later since the announcement. I was fortunate enough I managed to get booked onto that in a few days' time. So going to do a little bit of study, and I'm not just going to go into it completely blind, because there are certainly areas in the networking stack that it's fair to say I need to just do a bit of gemming up on myself, just to kind of make sure, hopefully make sure I can get through that exam. But it is a beta exam, so if you are looking to go and take that, like I say, then there's the code there. Go and give it a try. Hopefully you can still get that 80% off the exam price, but yeah, it's a few days. I wouldn't be surprised if all of those vouchers have been used up now. But yeah, give it a shout if you are looking to study it. Remember, it is a beta exam, so you'll sit it. You won't get your scores instantaneously. Typically, there's a little bit of a wait until the exam gets released officially. They then do a re-scoring of the exam, the beta exams, and release those scores at a later date. So you're probably looking, at least a month and a half or 2 months. But like I say, it depends on when they're going to release the exam, into the general population, so to speak, out of beta. So go and give that a try. And if you needed any help and support, then Mike Pfeiffer and Tim Warner have put together it's a paid-for course, it's a series, but undoubtedly the guys over at Cloud Skills, they produce such high-quality, cracking content. Then it's if you are serious about taking that exam, go and check the guys out there. They've got a 2-day series of workshops covering the AZ700, the Networking Engineer Associate Exam content, starting Monday the 26th and the 27th. So go over to cloudskills.io, have a look at that. If that's something of interest, get signed up. But equally, Tim has got some Pluralsight content as well. He's had that released. So he said the first of the 5 courses of the AZ700 has been published. I got the notification last night, and I'll absolutely be taking a little look at that. In fact, that will probably help me through the exam, no doubt, just to kind of re-cement those concepts and terms and ideas from a Microsoft viewpoint of software-defined networking and what it means for each of the networking components across Azure. So go and check that out. If you are, obviously, I know I'm calling these out, and it's kind of reliant on people having Pluralsight or putting their hand in their pocket for paid resources. There is plenty of content out there for non-paid, but I think it's probably fair to say if you are looking to jump onto something, people that have put the time and effort to collate this content in a professional manner to get it up onto training websites, these things take time. So I don't mind putting my hand in my pocket, of course, on occasion to get that quality training material. But equally, there are so many people out in the community. If you look hard enough and dig deep enough, you'll find a lot of these related areas out there for free. And as Gregor put that AI 102 exam together, I believe Thomas Maurer has got an AZ 700 study guide, which obviously links to a lot of the Microsoft content, the Microsoft Docs. You've got Microsoft Learn, which has got a lot of the AZ 104, which covers a lot of networking concepts, as well as AZ 500, which overlaps a lot of the networking concepts. So, you can get there without paid resources, but I just like the fact that sometimes with a paid resource, they help you follow the skills measured, the objective domain, and, take you through that almost start to finish. So anyway, just thought I'd call those out if you are interested. Yeah, Sean called this out. So Sean Deggans just retweeted this the other day about it's actually a blog article from Adam the Automator, so Adam Bertram. So go and follow Adam. He's always doing some fantastic bits and pieces and fantastic content and helping us all understand relatively complex areas and how we can approach them. So Adam has put this blog article out around, how to build functional and beautiful cloud diagrams. And it's always something quite close to my heart, because part of my job is, as an architect, is, to kind of pull high-level diagrams, low-level diagrams together. And look, sometimes it can be tricky to work out the best way to display or represent cloud solutions, especially when they're large and complex. You've got to break them down. You've got to have some logical meaning to your diagrams. So I did read this article, and there are some absolutely spot on tips in there. And I'd encourage you, if you are in that space and you're looking for any hints and tips about getting started with designing cloud diagrams, then Adam very much goes into a good few examples here. Even from the formatting, the layout, the color scheme, the branding. Talks a bit around certain tooling that's available to you, to be used to create these diagrams, and some fantastic hints and tips. So it was a really good article. So yeah, thanks to Sean for sharing that out the other day. Go and follow me. I think I retweeted it. Yes, I did. Or go and follow Sean and click on the link if you're looking for it. Okay. And yeah, finally back to two of my friends across the community, Chris. Chris has released another one of his weekly videos with the awesome Pete Gallagher around IoT. So I managed to watch the first half of the video. I've got to go back and watch the second half. I always love watching Chris's and Pete's videos, because I always find that they resonate a lot with my view on the world and the areas that I'm looking to kind of grow my knowledge and passion in. So just wanted to call it out, because they're always good videos. Go and give that a watch, like and subscribe for Chris. And yeah, cheers for Pete for that, because it's always great anyway. And finally, my good friend Richard has set up a new podcast with GPS with Antonio Lofiego, Alf. So the three of the guys, GPS, Richard, and Antonio, have set up this new podcast, which they're on episode 2 at the moment, which is Cloud Code Life. Listen to the guys. They talk about their career journeys, their certification, how they keep on top of certification, and general information in and around the cloud arena. So if you are looking for that kind of laid back chat style podcast around cloud, as it's called, Cloud Code Life. So the guys there are very much in the DevOps side of cloud. I think it's probably fair to say that DevOps development part as well. But they're all fantastic people in the community. So they've always got some really great insights and great information to get over to everybody. So if you're looking for another podcast, go and give the guys a follow, sign up and have a listen. So good things to come from the guys in the future, I'm sure. So thanks for that. Let's jump back over to my big face. And there we go. So yeah, a bit of a long community call out today, but as always, it's worth it, because there's always fantastic stuff going on across the community. So it's a pleasure to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight on over to Jonnychipz on the side. So yes, Pete Gallagher, you know who you are. I'm always calling Pete out. Pete was on holiday on his hollybobs in sunny South Wales this week, and he gave me a shout. We met up. We had a nice steak sandwich and a beer. So it was cracking to actually meet Pete, face to face rather than over camera and screen all the time. So obviously, big shout out to Pete on that one. I know he's coming to the end of his break down in Wales, so hope you have a fantastic remainder of your break, and look forward to getting back into it and seeing what's going on in the community going forward. But yeah, big shout out anyway. It was great to actually finally meet up with some of the guys across the community, especially Pete, who I know I'm always shouting out Pete because he's just so bleeding awesome. So nice to see you, buddy, and no doubt we'll speak and catch up soon. Yeah, last Friday I was invited on by Jared and Pierre onto the Testing in Production podcast, which kind of follows the bi-weekly cadence opposite the Patch and Switch Twitch stream. So that was really great fun. If you want to go and have a look at that, jump onto the Patch and Switch Twitch stream. I can't really remember what we talked about. We talked about lots of different things, I think. Just a really good laugh, bit of fun, talking about a bit of cloud, bit of tech, bit of nonsense, bit of banter. So, the guys are great anyway. So go and give them a follow. They've got their YouTube channel set up now, and I think they're going to start putting up their shows every week on there. And yeah, like I say, they talk around everything from, producing content through to accessing content. They're looking for feedback from the community. For those who don't know, the guys both work for Microsoft. Pierre's in the cloud advocacy team. So they're always looking for that kind of feedback to kind of help us as the partner, the community, whatever it may be, make best out of the stuff that Microsoft is putting out there. So yeah, go and give them a follow, sign up to the YouTube channel, and go and have a watch. It's really good fun. So yeah, again, last Friday, huge thanks to James Cook. Had a great chat with James around his tech career, and his journey through to becoming working with cloud technologies. So that went out last Friday, and it's there. It's available on the YouTube channel below if you want to go and have a watch of that. But it is Friday. One thing to add in as well, for those of you that noticed, I had some technical troubles with my Neil McLaughlin video. So Neil, huge thank you, matey, for jumping on this week and righting those wrongs that I may have caused myself by not being very clever with my editing skills. So yeah, I lost all the audio on that video when I originally did it. So Neil jumped on with me. We re-recorded, and it was a super chat. And of course, we could add a little bit more content in, and we talked around Windows 365. So that's available to watch now on the YouTube channel if you check the playlist below. And as it's Friday, we've got another episode being launched tonight. So huge shout out to Mike Martin. Mike joins me tonight from 6:30 BST over on the Azure Live Twitch.tv channel. We talk about security, so cloud security, Azure Security Center, all of that good stuff. Mike's hugely knowledgeable in those areas, so that is going to be a fantastic conversation. So if you can join us, it would be great just to get involved in the chat and say hello, really, and see how we get on. But yeah, huge shout out to Mike for that. Stay tuned for that later this evening. And finally, what else have I been up to this week? So I wrote another blog article just around the AI studying that I'm doing. So this week I looked at the text analytics services and really understanding, if you're putting in some form of text, how can we glean sentiment out of that text? Well, what did you mean? Was that a negative comment? Was it a positive comment? So I put together a little blog article, used some of the content from Microsoft Learn, walk through that, kind of screenshot it, how you can set some of these things up and test it. If nothing more from a conceptual point of view, but later down the road, then how can you include that into some kind of development, some application? So that's been me this week. Okay, so I'm not going to hang around now. We're going to quickly jump straight back on over and talk a little bit about the Welsh Azure user group. So our July event, 15th of July, has been and gone now, but it's been captured in all its glory on YouTube. So, like I say, if you didn't manage to catch that, we had Mike Martin on, we had Ashish Sharma on, and Ryan Mangan on, all doing lightning talks. And then we had Tim Warner on, giving us a fantastic Azure networking overview to kind of keep in that theme of the AZ700 and that kind of exam coming out to the forefront. So it's there, it's available. You can go and jump on and watch that below. It's in the in one of the playlists below the Welsh Shore user group. So the next event is August the 11th. So save the date if you are around August the 11th, 6:30 p.m. BST. Yeah, should really put that in there. We've got again another great series of sessions. So Servant are coming on. So Pete, Andy, and Nathan are going to talk us through this case study of the University of Glasgow and their AVD use case, and how they accomplished that, in kind of COVID times. So we've got Servant kicking off the show for us in August, and we've got Sasha coming on to talk to us again in a lightning talk style around giving us some practical guides to securing our enterprise with Azure Sentinel. And then we got Ricardo coming on to talk to us around Azure Reader's Cache. Is it a new rising star with a new version that's come out? So that's set to be a great set of sessions. So yeah, like I say, if you can join us, 11th of August, put in your calendars. Go and follow the @Welsh Azure Twitter handle, and go and RSVP to the event. That would be awesome. And like I say, if you have missed any of those sessions, they're all available there in a playlist. And I think I've timestamped them for the session. So have a little look through, because there are some fantastic talks in there. I always seem to be engaged whenever we get a session with the user group. So go and give those a watch if that's something of interest. Okay, so it is the final section of the show. Whilst I just tee things up, we'll get through the Azure news and updates pretty quickly, because there's been a fair few this week again. So let's jump straight on over. Okay, so right, yeah, we've had about a dozen or so, I think, updates this week. So I'm going to kick through some of the more sort of the GA announcements that we've had this week. So some of the key ones. So this is a big one for this week, is that Azure Firewall Premium has gone generally available. So for those of you that don't know, the standard SKU really gave us that firewall capability within Azure. The ability to block and unblock, allow and disallow ports through a particular Azure firewall, hosted in its own VNet or landing zone, wherever it may be. This announcement for the premium SKU brings in like next gen firewall capabilities in terms of allowing us to do some TLS inspection. So really digging into that encrypted traffic and understanding, is there anything in there that maybe shouldn't be, and do we need to block it based on a security or content perspective? We got intrusion detection and prevention. So again, if there are anything naughty out there that's looking to come through the firewall, we've got these capabilities. We can put web categories to, obviously allow or disallow certain categories of internet traffic, based on, things like social networking and search engines, or gambling, or adult material, things like that. And we've got some URL filtering as well. So really, we've got these capabilities now to start managing and manipulating on more than just ports and protocols. So that's cool. If that is of interest to you, go and check that out. But that has gone generally available as of the 19th of July. So cool announcement there. Shared disks on Azure disk storage are now generally available to all premium and standard SSDs. Again, that concept of being able to share a shared disk across various different OS platforms. I think this is the first cloud provider to actually make that happen, but that's gone GA, so that's cool to see. Azure VMware solution now generally available in the Canada East region. We've got public IP information and internet and inter-zone traffic, among many new insights in traffic analysis. We've gone GA. Built-in Azure policy support for Network Watcher traffic analysis. Better integration between Azure Monitor and Grafana, so that'll be cool to see exactly what's gone on there. I've not checked a lot of the monitoring stuff myself, but any more integration with that product, Grafana, is going to be cool to see, because I know it's something that we've started talking about where I work of using in a bit more of a proactive way. So that's cool to see. Python functions now support custom telemetry in application insights. And Azure Monitor Agent and data collection rules now support direct proxies and log analytic gateway. Okay. Some more Azure Sphere announcements. That's gone to version 2107. And there's been, so the West US 3 region has been added to Azure HD Insight. And then we go into some of the in preview announcements. We've got IoT Edge Metrics Collector module 1.0.1. That's quite cool. So that'll be a module for your IoT Edge devices, metrics collectors. I did read briefly about this, so I'm going to dig into that a little bit more and see what I can do with that. Azure App Service Migration Assistant PowerShell based experience. Okay, and public preview alerts, pacemaker cluster, and data size for SAP HANA. Scan and view lineage of data stored in Irwin Mart, Google BigQuery, and Looker using Azure Purview. So that data governance platform. Yeah, so that's interesting. They started to look and branch out into being able to hook into all of those other different types of database. Cool. Public preview of Azure database for Postgres. Flexible server now supported in new regions. I really need to read up a lot more about Postgres. They seem to be doing a lot with it. So more data announcements. So flexible server auto grow storage in public preview for MySQL. And finally, new telemetry for SAP application, NetWeaver in the Azure portal. Okay, cool. So thanks everybody for sticking around and watching this video. Hopefully you find these videos useful. If you do, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It would be hugely appreciated. If you've got any feedback, any content ideas, or just want to have a chat about things, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or leave a comment below. But for now, I've been John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and this has been Jonnychipz Weekly number 30. Heat. Let's get back to the sun. See you all next week.